Hey, if you're watching this because you're battling porn or shame or addiction, I see you. And I lived it. And I want to tell you how Jesus didn't just clean up my behavior. He healed my heart and restored me completely. And it all started with something that I didn't even realize was connected. And I need you guys to know I really do not have the conviction as a man that my faith in Islam would have truly delivered me from this vice and this sin that had impacted more than half of my life. And just for some background here, I grew up Muslim in New York right after 9/11. If you want to talk pressure, we weren't just raised to succeed, we were raised to represent, and we were told as young kids that we need to be the Western light, be the best, show the world Muslims are good. And so I became that kid, top of my class, fastest in the grade, lion leader, smartest, most polished. I learned early that you're loved when you win and you're accepted when you perform. But here's the problem with that. When love becomes a reward, shame becomes the punishment. And one day, that punishment showed up in me in a way that haunted me for 16 years until just this last Sunday, Jesus delivered me from it. And I need to share this with you guys because it is so vital that you understand how you heal addictions, whether it's porn or drugs or alcohol or self-hate or self-sabotage or emotional addiction. It all stems from the same place. So let me paint the picture for you guys. It was 5th grade, gym class. Backboard dodgeball. We had this insane comeback. My teacher calls me the man of the hour. Pure joy. I'm hyped. And I go and I hug my best friend so tightly from behind. I'm like, just kid energy, no filters. Dude, I cannot believe this. And then he panics. And he starts crying and says that I humped him. Now, I didn't even know what that meant. I was 10 years old. I was in 5th grade. But suddenly, in a split second, I go from a childlike joy high to being deeply shamed by adults. My parents, my teacher, my principal, they're accusing me. And they're asking, where did you learn this from? And in one afternoon, my entire central nervous system was rewired to show me that joy is dangerous. That hug, that childlike freedom got labeled and accused as perversion. And a seed of shame got planted inside of me that would last 16 years. And for the first moment in my life, when I was conscious enough to know that I am so joyful in my physical action, the moment I realized that, boom, it was ripped away from me. So next year, I was given a phone. We moved to Texas, and it wasn't random. When I found porn, it didn't feel like it was something new. It felt familiar, and it had ended up becoming the outlet for guilt that I didn't know I had. It was like my therapy, my hiding place, and my escape. Because the first thing I did when I got my phone was I looked up what is humping. And I didn't watch it because I wanted to be evil. I watched it because I didn't know how to feel safe being me. And when I looked that up, boom, porn addiction, instantly shown. And no matter what I tried, blockers, apps, accountability, the shame would come back stronger and stronger and stronger because the addiction was not the root cause. It was a symptom of an unhealed boy. And I'm telling you guys, with every single addiction that you have, it's going to come from a time in your life where your little child inside of you was so deeply hurt after being his full self that you never would recover from it. And then 2 weeks ago, I joined an inner healing night with my church group. No hype, no therapy, just quiet stillness. And this was my birthday. So I just turned 27 and I'm sitting there like, Jesus, I cannot do this for another day. I do not want to be 27 and lusting after the world, lusting after women and touching myself, right? And so we're sitting there and I'm praying to God, God, take me back to the moment where this all went sour. And I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I just have full faith that he's going to show me the exact moment. And all of a sudden, like a rush, this third person view comes inside of my mind. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching 10-year-old Shark be so excited, so pure, so full of energy, like dopamine rush, man of the hour, just so physically loving and expressive and giving my friend that huge, huge hug from behind. And I remember him seeing there and I remember seeing my friend crack and go into pure panic. And I remember seeing the gym teacher rush over and the principal rush over and them call my parents. And I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I zoom out. And I feel Jesus looking at me. And the reason I'm tying this back to Islamic faith, guys, is because I wouldn't have had this experience with Jesus if I didn't know his character. If I didn't know that Jesus was God in flesh, that that's truly the divine calling on my life and who I am, I would never be the kind of guy who would have felt that. If I didn't know his character, I would have never had this moment. And you know what Jesus said to me as I'm in this almost trance state of prayer and like subconscious mind therapy and healing. I'm laying back on this couch and I just hear Jesus say, Shark, that was so pure. That moment was beautiful. That joy was beautiful. And that moment wasn't your fault. You were accused of something, I'm like moving my lighter out of the way, that you didn't do. And that shame was never yours. Your hands aren't dirty. They are healing. Your hands will lay on people and heal them. And that physical expression of who you are is so beautiful, Shark. That is who you are. And I was shattered because for the first time, I felt like I was looking at the real me, the real Shark before he ever touched himself, the real Shark before he ever felt guilt, and the real Shark of pure childlike joy. And it was in that moment I knew I was finally delivered. And life now, it's been 2 weeks, and I won't lie, I see lust. I see it, but it's different now. And I look at the quiet places. I look at the dark spaces where I would fall and I would crumble and I would sin against my body in a way that God would just be so sad with. And that screen and that moment of temptation, and instead of shame, I feel joy, childlike and clean and loved. I'm not white knuckling it anymore. I'm actually walking in my identity as a son of God, something that only Jesus can give me. Because Jesus didn't say, stop sinning and I'll love you. He said, you're my son. Let me show you who you really are. And only until I came into full submission with Jesus and I said, Lord, I give you this addiction with all of my heart. Please show me. I cannot do this anymore. He came and he answered. And that has been the theme of my life my entire way through. So if you're stuck in addiction, don't ask God to take away the struggle. Ask him to take you back to the moment you started believing that you were dirty, because he's not afraid of your past. He needs to rewrite it, and he wants to rewrite it. And if he did it for me, he'll do it for you. And I'll tell you what, just the power of inviting Jesus into your childhood memories, the times that you felt any of the negative emotions, guilt, shame, depression, infatuation, self-doubt, right? Fear. Inviting Jesus into not just the symptom, not the last time that you choked the chicken, but the very first time that you felt that moment. And if you don't know what it is, ask him to reveal it to you and close your eyes and pray into it. And for me, it took an hour. But that level of beautiful submission, I truly believe that he rewarded. And that is the only thing out of the 6 figures of post-college self-investment that I've done in mentors and with winning the Skool games and talking to Hormozy about mindset and like doing all these incredible entrepreneurial tasks and getting the mindset coaches, getting the tactics and the strategies. This was the thing that healed me. Nothing I could have bought, nothing I could have earned, simply being in the presence of Jesus. And so if you guys are struggling with this stuff, I need you to know it's not something that you can do. It's something you need to be healed from. And think back to the first moments where you expressed a childlike love of physical expression, that this is no doubt who Sharik is. And if you're in your 20s like I am now it's like you're trying to show physical expression to a woman and you can't because you feel shameful or addiction with the slightest of touches. That's healed now. And now I'm giving my women of Christ these huge hugs and it feels so freeing and it's pure and they feel the purity. And I need that for you guys. I would love you guys to feel that again because porn is such a stronghold on us. And porn is disgusting. It is from the enemy. And I just wanted to share this with you guys because this is truly something that I've been delivered from. And it's not going to be the sexiest approach. It's not like some course or something that you can buy or like an accountability coach. You need to go back to the root. The first time that you were told, this is not your identity. You are not a loving, playful, joyful son of the Most High Lord. The same Jesus that commended the kids and urged us to have childlike faith. That's who you are. That's your identity. And I honestly don't think my Islamic faith would have ever shown me that. And that's where it started, with performance and fear and my parents being like, Sharik, you cannot be the Muslim kid who is doing these things. Instead of being Sharik, that's not who you are in Jesus Christ. So I love you guys. I really hope this reaches just the one person that needs to see this. I really hope it reaches you. And I hope that tonight you go into prayer and you ask the Lord, what is it that I need to learn, that you need to be there with? What do you need to walk me through? What memory in my subconscious mind is so deeply buried by guilt and shame and fear? Glory to God, I need you to rip it out. And I just want to pray right now over you guys. I want to bless you guys with knowing that Jesus wants it all. He wants all of it. And so if there's something you're battling with, give it to him and ask him not to be healed from it, but to show him how you should see yourself to be healed from it. Okay? I love you guys. And remember, if you see yourself how Jesus sees you, you would have everything you've ever wanted. So I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.